Yo, what's good, you guys? It's your boy Jeff, aka Landwiz Jeff, and I'm here with a very, very special guest on our first official Land Flipping Empire podcast. I got my guy Reggie Goosby with me today, man. One of the top land flippers here in all of Florida. Reggie, man, introduce yourself, man.
How y'all doing today, man? Pleasure to be on here with you, man. Thank you for bringing me on, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, me and Reggie, we go way back from college days. This is actually my former JUCO basketball teammate, my big man. You know, we were setting pick and rolls, and now we setting pick and rolls in real life. And, you know, I came across Reggie back in, I want to say 2016 when we first made that commitment to go play college basketball.
Yeah,
and now here we are, fast forward 9 years later, and you know, we've both successfully built land flipping empire businesses, man. And one thing I do want to let a lot of our viewers know is that Reggie's also a full-time firefighter. Reggie, man, get into it, man. Like, how are you a full-time firefighter doing this business on the side?
I mean, I thank God for everything, but being a firefighter has opened up new doors for me because I only work 24 hours and then I'm off 48. So what am I going to do with those other 48 hours? I was always thinking, like, what can I do? I've always had a business mindset and studied business in college. And after a while, I was just like, what am I doing? And then I came across Jeff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then as far as like side hustles, right? Mm-hmm. Out of all the side hustles, because, you know, you being a full-time firefighter, what made you choose land flipping as a side hustle?
So I've always wanted to get into real estate, own something in real estate. Parents, mom, grandma even owned land in real estate back in Fort Lauderdale. And I see how she did it. And my whole family owns some type of real estate. Uncles in Miami, down everywhere. So that's what really made me want to say, what can I do in the real estate other than just houses? Because, you know, houses are cool and all that, but that land is different type of ways. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure, man. And then, you know, obviously with you being a firefighter, like, did you ever feel stuck financially or where, you know, you felt like, you know, you can always make more even while being a full-time firefighter?
So being a firefighter, I can't say I was never ever stuck. I can't ever say I was stuck. Yeah. I was fine, but I know I can always do more. Yeah. I'm always looking for the next thing to do in life. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say stuck, but I just felt like I don't like to be confined into one space. I like to broaden my horizon, see things, do things, understand more things. There's always ways to make money in this world. You can do it anyway.
For sure.
You feel me?
For sure. And then when you came across, obviously, land flipping, like, were you skeptical at first? Did you have any doubts? Like, because, you know, there's a lot of people, obviously, that's on YouTube, that's doing the research, doing the homework. And then, you know, they're scratching their head like, man, is this real? What up? Talk to the viewers about your experience. Like,
so remember how I hit you up on Instagram? I saw you posting on Instagram. And I was like, what is Jeff doing? And like, I know I can always give you a call.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, Jeff, what are you doing? I thought you was what's it called again? This is fraud or something like that. Man, come on now. So I said, we're better than that. And I'm like, Jeff, what are you doing? He said, no, I do wholesale land flip. I'm like, what is that? And couple days later, we had a meeting and you taught me the game top to bottom. And I thank you for that every day, man. I'd be like, dang, this is my boy who really put me on to everything since day one, like 4 years ago, I think.
Man.
I think I've been a firefighter for 5, and after a year, I came
Yeah, brother.
About a year. That's 4 years ago when I started this.
4 years ago, man, we had that first conversation, Reggie. And, you know, from there, Reggie, I mean, obviously you've exploded. You now have a very successful 6-figure business on the side. You know, you being a full-time 24-hour firefighter, how do you even manage being a firefighter and also running your land flipping business?
See, it's not easy sometimes. I am tired at times, but I just know the end goal. You feel me? The end goal is where I want to be in life, where I know I'm going to be. I have goals that I got to get to no matter what. I see it now and like I have to get there. Yeah. Like with God willing, like everything put him first, and then you'll be successful in life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then as far as like time wise, how much time are you dedicating towards your land flipping business a day? Right. Because there's a lot of people, especially 9-to-5 workers, W-2 workers who want to build something on the side, but they always feel like they don't have enough time. How do you manage your time?
I can honestly say I have a partner who is like amazing. And to her every day, like I'd be like, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And because I have a full-time job and she does full-time land flipping now. We just combined, like mental minds combined it, and we've been killing it ever since. Like when I'm at work, I can't pick up the phone. I have to go on the rescue. I have to be on the engine. I have to go save lives. Like, you feel me? I go pick up sick people.
Yeah.
But she's the backbone of everything. I can honestly say that. When I tell people, like, look, get you a partner, man. Like, you feel me? Like you and Dre. Yeah. You guys are partners, man. Yeah. Like y'all figure each other out. Y'all know each other like the back of your hands. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
Like me and my partner, we know each other. We know how we think. And I'm like, okay, here we go. You feel me?
Yeah, man. And I agree, Reggie, because partnerships is very crucial.
In this business, it is.
And definitely there's a lot of bad partnerships out there. It is. Unfortunately, I've been a part of some bad partnerships. So to the average person, so you recommend, as a person who's a full-time W-2 worker, so you recommend somebody to start off with a partner.
Who has partner.
Yeah.
Like that other person, if you're busy, the other person can be working on the side. But like, you know me, talking to the title company, talking to the seller, like, oh, I'm texting the seller off the CR. You feel me? So I would honestly recommend get a partner that you trust. Look, trust is a big thing in this business. We all been burnt. Me, you,
for sure,
been burnt before,
for sure.
And that's like, damn. But you got to get up and keep going. And thank God, the way I found my partner was just luck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure, brother, for sure. But definitely, Reggie, partnerships is definitely key. I think partnerships will kind of cut your time in half for sure. It will cut your time in half, especially knowing that you're not doing this alone and that you're doing it with the same person who has the same visions, that are like mindset. And then also you guys are aligned with your goals, which is very important, because I always tell people, hey, don't just partner up with anybody. Don't partner up with your friend who obviously don't really believe what you guys are doing. So definitely, Reggie, partnership is very crucial, very important to getting started and cutting your time in half. I can agree with that.
Yes.
Because I will say DeAndre has definitely helped me with a lot when I first started. So yeah, partnerships is very crucial. Yeah, but Reggie, man, talk us through your very first land deal. Like, how did you come across it? Where were you? Obviously, were you at work when you closed your first land deal?
I actually was. So I was, Palm Bay was golden back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So I jumped on that. I remember you were like, Zillow. I was like, Zillow? What do you mean? I'm like, all right. So I went to Zillow. You feel me? Seller selling her lots. And I was like, okay. She wanted price. I knew my builder paid this price. I'm like, oh, wow, is this real? I'm like, hey, how you doing? I was introducing myself. And she said, yeah, I want this price. I said, okay. No problem. I said, how about I send you over a contract, all that good stuff, the normal stuff. And then I called my buyer and she was like, hey, yeah, I'll take them. Cool. I'm like, literally, I think it was like 3 weeks later, I'm more money in my pocket, money in the account. I was like, wow. This is how easy it is.
Yeah.
And I was like a golden age. I was outside talking in the parking lot, literally. And then we got a call. I remember we got a call. I was like, hey, I'm going to call you right back. Give me a second. I'm a firefighter. Me and mention I'm a firefighter does help a lot of people ease their mind.
Oh, wow.
Like, because I'm trustworthy. I really feel like I'm a trustworthy person. Like, as just a good person, that's another thing. Be a good person. In this deal, bro. You have to be a good person.
You got to.
You will not be blessed.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I always tell our clients, man, you got to always put the sellers first, because they can feel bad energy.
They can.
Right? And knowing that obviously we're reaching out to these people, offering to sell maybe their most important asset.
Exactly.
You got to be a good person in the process.
And
a very trustworthy person.
Very, very true, man.
Yeah.
Like, they gotta like you.
Yeah. People sell to who they like at the end of the day.
You don't. They gotta like you. Like, be personable.
Yes,
like,
sir. Yes, sir. No, that's awesome, brother. Talk us through, man, your biggest land deal so far. Like, how did that make you feel? What was your biggest land deal up to date?
I think about almost 50K. Yeah, almost 50K. And me and my partner, we were working this seller. I was dealing with this seller back and she's always coming up in my CRMs and all that stuff. And me and her, and my partner was able to relate to her more than anything. And she said, okay. And it was in Ocala. Yeah, it was in Ocala, I believe. Yeah, it was all in Ocala. It was a package of 15 lots.
Wow.
So some of them weren't good lots, but the builder was able to work with us and was like, hey, look, we'll take them all. I was like, listen, this lady's not going to sell if she's not all of them.
Wow.
And she finally said, okay. She got her price. She got what she wanted. It was a family. The whole family had to agree.
Wow.
2 brothers, a sister. The sister was head of everything. The mom, all of it. And it was a good, big deal. It was a big deal, man. I can't even. Yeah, it was a big deal.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. 50K.
50K
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. 50K also while being a part-time firefighter.
Yeah, I did.
That is crazy. That is some crazy numbers. And a lot of people, out there, they don't really believe that they can achieve those type of numbers, But Reggie, man, as far as financially, how has land flipping, with the extra income you bringing in outside of being a firefighter, how has that kind of changed your life and your family's life, drastically?
Tremendously. I mean, I was able to buy my first house, you feel me?
Wow.
I put enough down to being able to, then able to put enough down to get my first house.
Wow.
My family owns houses. Everybody don't own it. But I was able, before 30, I was able to buy my first house. And that was a goal of mine. Man.
And that's a lot of people's goals as well, is to obviously buy their first house or buy their first investment property. Because I like I always tell people, and especially our clients, right? We use wholesaling land as a vehicle. This is a vehicle, right? It's a vehicle that obviously you want to learn how to go from 0 to 100K as fast as possible, and I know there's a lot of people stuck at their jobs. They want to hit that 6-figure mark, that 7-figure mark, but they're capped out, at their 9 to 5. They're capped out, they're tired, they're overworked, right? And, land flipping, which obviously changed your life and kind of helped you been able to get your dream house, your first house actually. And then and I see you got a nice truck with it too. You got a nice big boy GMC out there, man.
I did good, man.
Reggie, man, you're doing awesome, brother. And that's awesome. And then as far as outside of land flipping, right? Right now, does your family know you're land flipping? Do they know what you're doing? With this business?
Yes, my parents are very supportive.
Okay.
My stepfather, my mom, and my real dad are very supportive with this, and they know what I'm doing, and I'm doing it for my future family. You feel me? So I'm able to pass down something to my kids. You feel me? My future kids, and just able to. My mom was very happy that I have my own business.
Yeah,
I'm a firefighter, my own business, my own everything, and she was just so happy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Do you feel like land flipping can eventually replace your 9 to 5, or do you really and truly enjoy your career, what you have, and your schedule that you have right now, or do you plan on, just keeping it the way it is?
You've asked me that question before.
Yeah.
And I honestly tell you, I always wanted to be a firefighter since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So it's something in me that wants to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I can't give up something I love to do. I love doing both.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to continue to do both, spiritually, financially, I will do it. I can't pass up a pension and then think about later on down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's very important because I always tell people, if you love your career, that's okay.
Exactly,
there's nothing wrong with loving your career, loving what you're doing. But to the ones that hate their 9 to 5, they hate going to work, they hate their boss. I scratch my head because I'm like, hey, what are you going to do about it? Because it's you do have an option. You're not a tree. So you do have the option to move, or you do have the option to change your situation financially, And I always tell them, hey, land flipping can be that way to change your financial situation, drastically in a speed of speed of light for
Yeah.
sure. And then as far as like advice, right? What
Mhm.
advice do you have for people, that loves their career, but also, they're looking for other side hustles to do? Do you think land flipping is that business model that people can start and easily get into and start making money?
Yes. I didn't spend anything when I first started. Like I said, I went through Zillow.
Wow.
The contract is free.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's free 99. Like, so honestly, if you don't like like you're saying, if you don't like your job, we're in that generation. We don't stay at nothing if we don't
Of
like it.
course.
Bro, if you staying at something you don't like to do, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's providing for your family, then keep doing it until you find something else to step into. I'm never going to tell someone to step out of something that is providing for their family. If it's providing for your family right now, and then you can take a leap of faith, if something's else has presented something to you,
for sure,
then do it. If it's not, then look, continue that 9 to 5 until you get that land up to where you need to be. You get that first deal, don't quit your 9 to 5 unless it's a massive deal. You feel me?
Yeah.
But you get a couple deals under your belt, then okay, I can do this full time now.
Oh yeah,
and get it to where I need to be.
For sure, brother, for sure. And then what would you say to somebody, who's working a 9 to 5, but they're probably scared to invest into themselves, or they're probably scared to fail? Like, what would you pretty much give them?
Never be scared. You will, like, there's sometimes you're gonna fail. I failed. I fell on my face, and you guys, I've called you, bro, Jeff, man, what he'd be like, don't quit. Why are you, there's gonna be bumps in this road.
Yeah.
You never quit.
Yeah.
And you just keep going. Jump in this business. I got a couple friends who literally called me, hey, I started this, I started that, I started my own, I'm starting. I'm like, good, keep going.
Yeah.
If you work from home, bro, man, you just go ahead and
listen.
You feel me? Write up a couple contracts, send it out. That's it. You're working from home.
Yeah, it's very simple, man. And
simple mind.
What we do is definitely very simple, but people kind of sometimes overcomplicate it.
There it does.
Right. Reggie, what would you say to somebody out there who's trying to reinvent the wheel? They're trying to reinvent the process, like, probably just watching maybe this YouTube video, still trying to learn, trying to get information. What would you say to those guys still stuck right now on YouTube University?
I've got a friend whose dad says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't just jump into something. No. Learn.
Yeah.
Learn that wheel. Learn. There's 4 wheels on a car. You want to learn that wheel. You feel me? They all move at the same time after a while.
Yeah.
You feel me?
For sure.
So that's one thing I tell somebody. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Continue to progress. Like, continue to study. Continue to be the person you want to be in life. You see a goal, get to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get to that goal. Sometimes we're going to have self-doubt, but sometimes you're going to just keep going and be like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Every morning you wake up, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing I could tell somebody. Keep going. We've all failed. We've all bumped our heads a few times.
For sure.
And no matter what, just keep going.
Yeah. You can't be scared to fail, man. You really can't be scared to fail. Yeah. Because honestly, I tell people all the time when they get started in this business, chase failure as fast as possible, right? Seek that L, like literally run towards the L as fast as possible, because the faster you go towards that L, the better and quicker you will learn from your mistakes.
Amen.
But Reggie, I definitely want to say, as far as like, continuing to learn while earn, because I always tell people, once you stop learning, you stop earning.
Exactly.
Right. How has mentorship been for you? Like, how important has that been?
Very important. Just even family, you guys, a couple other people, like just mentoring people that guide you along the way. Now, you don't have to be in that mentorship all the time. You got to break free sometimes.
Of course.
And do your own thing. But learn from people that have done this. Now, make sure that person is vetted and you're understanding, hey, they're not just in this for a buck. They actually want to teach somebody and actually learn. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Mentorship is very thing in this YouTube University. Like you got like mentorship is something that when you start off here, you want to be guided in the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then Reggie, if you had to start all over and you only had like 5 hours a week to put into this business, and then you probably maybe only had 10K to your name, maybe 5K to your name, what would be the first steps you would take in order to get started into land flipping?
Well, I would first YouTube something free first. I promise you, go something free first. Get you a little mentor, something that's not too expensive.
Yeah,
you feel me? If you got 5K to your name, boy, you better be working hard.
Yeah,
you feel me? So that's one thing I would do. Go get me a read on this situation. Reading is free.
Yeah,
you feel me? Fundamentals are free. Then once you get to that point, once you feel like you understand it, get you a little mentorship. You know what I mean? This is a great mentorship program.
Yeah.
Get you a mentorship, learn from them. Like I said, contracts are free. This is kind of a free situation.
Yeah.
Once you start getting, that's when things cost a little bit more money, once you start getting elevated. You feel me? But that's free starting, and then come to you, then get your mentorship.
Yeah.
You want to learn when you play basketball. I mean, I didn't read or anything like that, but I mean, I practiced.
For sure.
Before I got into the game. You know what I mean? Shooting a shot. You know what I mean? So that's what I definitely would tell somebody. Like, read, understand what you're doing first, then jump in.
Yeah. Jump straight into mentorship,
man.
Because just like I tell anybody, right? Right. It doesn't matter if you're going to school for 4 years for a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. You got to sit down and learn from the professor, right? The professor is there to kind of help you, guide you to your degree and guide you into the work field, you know? So I would definitely say mentorship has played a huge role on me, even with me, right? Because when I first started, Reggie, I started off with YouTube University. There wasn't too many people on YouTube talking about land flipping. There wasn't too many people even giving advice on it. And, when I started, I kind of just took the tools that I already knew from wholesaling houses, and I just used the same skill set and the tools that I already had from trying to wholesale houses, and I just converted it to land. And when I found my first deal, it took me a week to close my first deal. So it was kind of like it was like an aha moment. And, when I came across that land deal, I knew it was real, right? Because it was my first deal. It was my first
that money's there.
Yeah, the money's there. Kind of like made me realize like, whoa, okay, I can make 5K without punching in the clock. Okay, I know I can do this again. And then, obviously after my second, third deal, and, when I really made that boatload of money, I made about, I want to say over $30,000 in less than 2 months, right? I was actually working a 9-to-5 where my salary was the same amount that I made in that short amount of time. So yeah. So, the minute I made that money, it was more so like, hey, I got to find somebody who can help me make this, but 10 times more a month, and the minute I found mentorship, the minute I found my person, I spent that 5K, I spent that 10K to actually seek that knowledge, because I know that money is not real, but the knowledge that I was going to have in my brain, it was going to last forever, right? Because all I needed was that one little advice, or that second little tip that really needed to just crank everything up. And man, mentorship is very, very important, especially getting started in anything, whether it's land flipping, whether it's Turo. Yeah, man. Whether it's anything, right? And I always tell myself, if I ever get started in another business model, I'm probably not even going to watch YouTube. I'm going to do my research, look for the person in the industry that's killing it, right? That has results, that actually genuinely can really care and actually help you, walk you through, hold your hand. Those are the people that I look for, whether I get started in any industry, whether it's drop shipping, whether it's, Amazon, FBA, Turo. I want to look for the top people and then go to those guys and learn from them. Because I know, like I said, man, time is real, but money's not, so I can always make that money back, but that time I can never get it back. So mentorship definitely helped me a lot in my journey, because it helped me cut that time in half.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But awesome, Reggie. Awesome. And then as far as like, with like life after land flipping, right? Do you see yourself doing this business forever, for the rest of your life? Or do you see yourself, maybe kicking your feet up after, you close a few more deals and then, you start buying maybe rental properties? Where do you see yourself with land flipping in the next 10 years?
I mean, I plan on right now, me and my partner are working on automating our business.
Okay.
So like to a point where I don't have to be in it.
Yeah.
Like I got people working for me, working for us to make that business run. And then I plan on getting to more rental properties and understanding, okay, another aspect of real estate. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's more things in this world and more real estate things I want to do in this world. So I plan on, that's what I'm doing right now, automating, being great at automation, like, and yeah, renting some rental properties. Not kick my feet. I'm never gonna kick my feet up. I always want to keep going, man. I just always want to keep pushing to the next thing. Master it though first.
For sure.
Like, yo, master it first, then move to the next thing.
Yeah.
You feel what I mean? Nothing you want to just sit there, oh, I'm half-assing this. No, I want to master that first. Move to the next, move to the next, move to the next.
Yeah, yeah. And then you mentioned automation. What tools and systems right now that you're using, that's working right now for your business?
Obviously CRM.
Yeah. Flip for CRM.
CRM.
Man, listen, you got to get that.
What's another one? Bunch of Slacks and stuff like that. Like,
okay,
people give us that automation and people that's making it easier to automate.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You want to, what's another one I use? What's it? Skip tracing stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, understand it's not an easy thing to do, but once it's done properly, you're good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of tools. There's a lot of obviously services, products out there that many people can definitely use. But obviously you want to use the ones that are working efficiently, right? Mm-hmm. And I know for CRMs, Flipforce CRM is definitely a CRM that has helped my business, and I know it's helped your business as well, because it keeps everything organized. It keeps all your leads, your contacts in one system, and then it's easier for your employees to get in there, pretty much, be able to know what their tasks are daily, right? And then you mentioned Slack. That's one thing. That's a really Slack has definitely been helpful for me.
All that good stuff,
that's where I communicate with all my team members on the goals for the day, and then different skip tracing sites. There's so many different skip tracing sites people can use. What are your top 3 skip tracing sites?
The Mining Pros is a good one. What's another one? What's the free one? The PropWire. And then, everybody uses PropStream. So that's my, not skip, but my list pulls. And then Lead Mining Pros will skip trace your whole list for you and stuff like that. There's a lot of good ones out there.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But you got to find the right one for you.
Yeah.
Like, which one gives you the best and most people to come to you? Like, you know what I mean? Or get more replies back.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? The more replies back, I've learned, the better your list was.
Of course. Of course.
So,
yeah, man.
Really.
Yeah, man, you gotta go to what works,
Mm-hmm.
And I know with right now, in my business, I kind of use everybody. I
pull limit nobody, man.
Yeah, man. I say, hey, man, there is no best skip tracing. There is no best list pulling. Man, pull your list from all of those sites, because data is really important in this business. We also know that wholesaling land is a numbers game, right? Because the more people you reach and talk to, the better your chances are to actually finding motivated sellers, right? Because there's a lot of tire kickers out there, obviously, that will try to waste your time. But that's why having a nice list is very important when getting started, because now you're not wasting your time trying to talk to tire kickers all day. So definitely say, hey, there is no best list. There is no best software. Pull from everywhere, right? Because you never know what's going to hit. For sure, Reggie. Man. And then last question I got for you, brother, man. If you was to start over, man, and, you had the option as far as land flipping, Turo, Amazon, e-commerce, or even TikTok, shops,
Yeah.
right? Because I see a lot of side hustles right now that's just being broadcasted, right?
Yeah, man.
If you was to start over again, right?
Mm.
You know, on your entrepreneur journey,
Mhm.
you know, looking at all these things, maybe potentially having shiny object syndrome. Do you actually regret, you know, land flipping or choosing land flipping,
Never.
or would you rather go in and dive into any other?
Land flipping was the best choice I've ever made.
Okay.
Ever
Yeah,
made
yeah.
for a side hustle, ever made. And I can honestly attest to that. Like, that is the side hustle. It'll get you to where you need to be. Then you can, like I said, then you can go to other stuff.
Yeah.
Master that. And then you can go to your other avenues of interest, something that interests you. That's one thing I learned. Find something that interests you. Just don't do it for the money.
For sure.
You want to do this, something you want to do. Like, you would love to do it. And honestly, I enjoy real estate. I enjoy learning. I enjoy learning about real estate. You feel me? So if I could do it all over again, I'd pick the same thing. Do the same way. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of less bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
Because I learned.
Yeah, of
but,
course.
You feel me? If I knew the brain I got now back then,
Oh, yeah.
bro, this would be no brainer.
No brainer. Cut your time in half.
Now my time and a half.
So would you say land flipping is easier than getting a college degree?
Yes, of course. We were in college. Yes. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is. You can learn it. I think my first deal took me like 2 months.
Yeah.
I remember I talked to you, and I was in it every day. I remember calling you. You're like, no, do it like this. Oh, okay, do it like that. Okay, Reggie, do it like this. Okay. But honestly, that degree, yes, I love my degree. Thank God I went to it. And thank God I got it. But yes, the real estate side, that other side of life that you're like, I'm chasing this. I like that side too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, man, Reggie, I definitely want to say thank you so much for your time, for joining me on my first pod with the Land Flipping Empire pod, man. Yeah, hey, Reggie, man, where can anybody out there reach you on the socials? What's your social?
Everything's the same. That boy Goosby.
Okay.
Yeah, just find me there. That boy Goosby, you find me.
Yeah,
Instagram,
man.
Twitter, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. If you want to be a firefighter, or even if you want to, hit up my boy Reggie for some advice on how he's been able to build a successful land flipping business while also working as a W-2 worker, hit him up. Really good guy. One of my brothers from another mother, life for life brother. And guys, tune into more episodes from the Land Flipping Empire as we have way more sauce, way better guests coming through, heavy hitters. Okay, that's, we're going to be dropping gems daily. And so that way you can go out there and build your own land flipping empire. Yeah. Sams, what you give it? 1 through 10?